Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Leo Sosa. I'm the founder and executive director for Dev Mission. Dev Mission is a 501c3 nonprofit organization aiming to train young people ages 16 to 24 for careers in the tech industry through post-secondary and employment pathways. We're very excited and delighted today to launch our Inside Dev Mission video series. And today, I have the pleasure to interview a great friend of mine, an inspiration, someone that I have so much love for. It's Ivan Hurtado, our lead instructor for Dev Mission. How are you today, Ivan?
Hey, Leo. I'm very good. Thank you. Thank you for having me on here, and I'm really excited to talk to you today again.
Great. So we're going to go right straight into this interview. So can you please tell us your full name and your role at Dev Mission?
My name is Ivan Hurtado, and I am the lead instructor at Dev Mission.
Great. For everyone watching this video, Ivan, can you please tell us, how did you get started in tech?
Well, actually, my introduction to tech came back in high school. When I was in high school, computers were not as accessible as they are today. My school had a small little library, and in the corner, there was one computer in there, maybe two. But I used to walk by there. I never went in there. I had no idea how to use it. I saw a couple students that would use it, but I have no clue what to do with it. But I do remember one memory that sticks out, Leo, is when I was walking down the hallway, and my high school, they were installing an LED message board. And I thought it was the coolest thing. But what struck me the most was that it was one of the students who was actually programming what was going to be shown on the message board. And I thought, if he could do it, then maybe that's something that I could do, even though I had no idea what he was really doing at the time. So anyway, so after high school, being fathers, my parents were immigrants. I had no really idea of what to do after high school. And I was pretty sure that university was totally out of the question for me. I didn't know how the financial aid system worked. My parents didn't know either. So I didn't even consider it. Even though my career counselor actually one time told me that I should apply for the scholarship at UC Berkeley. But it was a $5,000 scholarship, and I thought there was no way $5,000 is going to pay for UC Berkeley, so there's no point in even applying for this one little scholarship. Anyways, I ended up going to community college, and there I took two classes. I took a math class, because I always was really good at math, and I really enjoyed it. And I took an intro to computers class, because I figured, hey, might as well learn a little bit about computers. Well, the teacher, she was a network administrator during the day, and at night, she was teaching this class. So I was working in the daytime to try to pay my bills so I could pay my school and my books, because my parents couldn't help me out. And what she was teaching us basically, Leo, was a digital literacy class. And it's ironic because years later, that's kind of the class that I was teaching when I started working with you. So basically, I took a digital literacy class in college, but the teacher, because she was a network administrator, she used to tell us about what she did during the day, her role as a network administrator. And I was just so intrigued by her job. I figured, wow, this might be something that I could get into. So community college did not work out for me. I finished that one class, but I ended up dropping the math class. And I ended up going to a technical school. I went to Heald College. And there I majored in computer technology. And when I graduated, I was fortunate enough to get a job working at the Academy of Art University as an entry-level help desk. And that was, well, a few years back. I don't want to give my age away. It was a while back. But that was my introduction to tech. I do remember, Leo, one of the reasons why I can relate to a lot of students we work with is I was the only Latino in the department. I was kind of the only one that young there in that department. I was 21. And I remember feeling like I didn't belong there. And so I can really relate to the students that we work with today. And after that, I just started going. I was in tech for about 10 years. And then I realized, you know what, even though I love tech, I want to teach more. And so then that's how I switched over to teaching.
Great journey, Ivan. Thank you for sharing that with our audience today. And it's amazing to hear from your own personal story that a lot of Latinx right now, even though things have changed and years have passed by, we still can see this underrepresentation of the Latinx, pipeline being exposed to careers in tech. So just like you and just like me, we were also not part of that many years ago, especially back in the 90s. So thank you for sharing that. So now let's get into really what this amazing work that you're doing right now for this organization. So tell us, how did you hear about Dev Mission and how did you get started to work with this organization?
Well, the way I got into definition really is I had the privilege to work with Leo Sosa. You may have heard of him. For many years, we worked at a couple of other nonprofit organizations doing similar work. And so I took a little bit of a hiatus, you can call it, took a little bit of a break. But when I got back, I reached out to Leo and he said, come over to Dev Mission. We got something for you if you want to join us. And it was a no-brainer. So I've been with Dev Mission now for about 18 months.
Nice. I still remember the day that I reached out to you when we were still working at the other organization. And I say, hey, man, I'm going to leave and I'm going to start this thing. And I don't know, it's going to be hard to get you out of your current job at that time. But here we are having this wonderful conversation. And that means a lot for me and the young people that you have inspired as well. So you kind of mentioned a little about what you were doing before coming to Dev Mission and the work that you have done in the past. But can you kind of give us a sense of how Dev Mission leadership team or staff has supported you since the beginning of your journey with Dev Mission 18 months ago?
Yeah, so the staff at Dev Mission is, I would say it's one of a kind, based on the experience I've had in the past at other locations, other organizations. Everybody's very supportive. I know there's a cliche says, no, it's a family, but it really does feel like that way. You know, when you need something, no one's ever going to say no to you. Whenever I ask for help for any staff member, they're always willing to help, and vice versa, right? When they can come to me and I was willing to help out. We really understand that we can't do it alone. It has to be a collective effort. And nobody in the staff has ever let me down in that sense. If I ever reached out to anybody, they were more than willing to help. And I really appreciate all the staff members at Dev Mission because of that.
Great. So that's a great segue for our next question. And the next question really has to do with what's really exciting to work at this organization. Even though we're very young, only 3 years old, there's this wonderful environment that a lot of our staff, contractors, volunteers get to enjoy. So from your own perspective, Ivan, what is the best thing about working with Dev Mission?
Well, I have a two-part answer for that. One is a personal benefit, and that is because I get to do what I love to do, and that's have an impact on the youth in San Francisco. I get to fill a role that I never had growing up, and that is someone to take me, under their wing and kind of show me these are the different opportunities available to you, and if you really work hard, they're yours. Go for it. Like the sign at our headquarters say when you walk in, you belong here, and no one ever told me that when I was growing up. So the fact that I can help tell the youth that today is one of the best things for me working at Dev Mission. Another good thing that I love about Dev Mission is in the past, when I was still working in the tech industry, I worked at a startup company. And just having something, like you said, mentioned small and seeing it grow and develop, it's an experience that's like there's no other. And so working at Dev Mission, I remember when you came to me and said, I'm going to start it to where it is now, seeing that growth, there's a rush, there's an adrenaline, there's okay, what's going to happen tomorrow kind of thing that we don't know. But that's kind of what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. Just seeing how the decisions that are made as a staff and from you as an executive director and seeing them being implemented and the impact that we have, there's no better feeling, than know that you have done your grain of sand to make that happen. And that to me is one of the best benefits of working at Dev Mission.
Great. Thank you for the answer as well. So our last question for today has to do a lot with what makes this organization different and unique. And you touch upon on those answers a little, but I think now it's a great opportunity for you to kind of share not only the opportunity you've been getting, but also what makes this organization very unique from other nonprofit organizations you have worked in the past.
Well, I think the first thing that makes Dev Mission so different from other nonprofit organizations, it starts at the top, right? I think Leo Sosa, I worked with you for so many years, and throughout the years, I've seen you fill all the roles that are needed at Dev Mission, right? From working with the students, teaching classes, to recruiting, marketing, all the way up to the financing and making partnerships. So the fact that we have somebody at the top that understands all the levels and all the roles, that is something that's very different from all the organizations that I've been at. Other nonprofits that I work for, I'm not going to say any names, but I was there for 2 years and executive director didn't even know my name. One time I was walking around in the building and he's like, "What are you doing in an employee only area?" Not knowing that I was an employee. So when you have people like that at the top, it kind of has a trickle effect on everybody else. So having a leader that understands every single role and appreciates everybody in the organization, that is a huge difference at Dev Mission from my experience in the past. Another one would be the staff, like we talked about, right? Everyone really truly cares about the work they're doing. It's not just a paycheck for them. They really do care about the students and how we impact their lives. And it shows in how they kind of conduct themselves every day. And finally, it's the students themselves that make it very different. They feel so comfortable here. I understand that it's not easy for being a young person and trying to navigate where you want to do in your life, but they feel comfortable here. And that's one of the reasons why they come back and become interns and TAs, and they help support the students that are coming behind them. Just last week, I reached out to one of the students and asked her if she can speak to the cohort. And she said, "Yeah, of course, it's my turn to give back." And just that expression made me understand, wow, Dev Mission really does impact them, because youth don't normally do that. They get what they need and they move on. But our youth come back and they want to give back. And that shows a lot about how Dev Mission is very different from other nonprofits.
Great. Well, before I let you go, I know this question is not on the script, but you know me, that's just how I roll sometimes. Can you please share with the audience, what are some of the new projects that you're working now? Because, 18 months with the organization has been just a blessing having you around, working with you. We have a transparent working relationship, and I know outside work as well, we have a beautiful friendship. But can you share with the audience, what are some of the cool projects or new projects that you're working on between the next 30 to 60 days, so the audience can really figure out not only your impact in the community, but also you're being able to just take new projects which are helping our young people?
Sure. So we have a lot of projects that we're working on. I can't give away all the secrets, Leo, because I kind of signed an NDA. No, just kidding. But so one of the things that we're working on right now, we finished our pilot program for the Google IT support certification program. I would say that was a success. We had almost 50% already completed and working already in IT support positions. So I think that was really good. We just started our second cohort, so it's a matter of just working out the kinks, seeing what worked from the first cohort and implement into the new one. And then, of course, the biggest challenge that we're facing right now is this transition from classroom learning to online learning, right? Remote teaching. So right now we're really trying to look at the curriculum, revamping as much as possible, making it a little more interactive so the students can feel like even though they might feel like they're missing out on the hands-on, they're still not missing on the knowledge that they're receiving, because they're going to get all the same information, except of course they won't be able to take maybe a computer apart, but they'll know exactly all the components that are there. They know where everything belongs. And we want to make sure that the curriculum is adapting to the changes of the world. We want to make sure they understand how to work from home, how to use a video conferencing feature, all these things that they were not exposed to in the past. And we're kind of also figuring things out as we go. We want to transmit that knowledge to the students so they're aware, because when they go into the workforce, they're going to be using these tools and they need to be ready to be able to use them so they can be successful. So that's another project that we're definitely working on, is just revamping a lot of the curriculum, updating it, making sure it's to today's standards. And I'm sure there's a lot of other projects down the road as well that you're going to surprise me with as well.
Well, it's been a wonderful experience interviewing you. I was very delighted to hear your journey, how passionate you are about training young people for careers in the tech industry. And again, thank you for being our first interviewee for our Inside Dev Mission video series. Thank you very much for your help, and please take care of yourself, and I'll catch up with you on Slack.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Dev Mission, and we'll see you around.